Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, support my brand, Inspired by Dreams. Shop. That's the place to go to get your drip on and dress outside of the box. I'm trying to build it with you guys, the community. Okay. So today, as we all know, it's Thanksgiving Eve, and so this is a day of preparation. So let's keep our energy in prep for what's next to come, which is Thanksgiving and other beautiful days. So we got a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of things that I missed out on that I wanted to bring to you guys and just share my opinion on. And yeah, we're gonna go through some things. So just give me a little sec and let's just get all in here. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying your holidays. And if you're feeling stressed out, this is the place to be to get you out of that misery. Okay. So yeah, let me see. Okay, let me just start this episode off with this, because this is something that's still going around and people are still talking back and forth about it. And I just wanted to give you my just my whole feelings on it. And it's the Kendrick Lamar and Drake back and forth about Drake suing Kendrick for Not Like Us, and just for this whole streaming thing. When it comes to when I heard this, it didn't really surprise me. And this has nothing to do with Kendrick, because I love Kendrick's new album from his Not Like Us song. It grew on me, and things were just in rotation. But in between this, if we scratch these two guys out and we see what's really been going on in hip hop and the music industry, of course, there's things called streaming forums. Of course, people are getting views and their views are going up in the air. And it's not, I told you guys, it's not necessarily, don't point at the artist. Sometimes it's people that are invested into these people and people who make money off of them doing well. You guys really have to understand, it's almost like lobbyists in hip hop. So if you break it down that way, it's almost like that. And I know, when it comes to, now I could understand why everybody, I see a lot of people commenting on Drake, and I see a lot of jokes going around, but I like to try to just get it to the serious points of this. The reason why Drake has to understand everybody is not going to take it, as, with just like a grain of salt, is because of them going back and forth. And now, you come to this point and you're saying that, if you really think about it, it's up to us whether we like the music or not. That has nothing to do with the business of hip hop. Hip hop right now is done by numbers. Hip hop right now, the sales are leading people's, it's not, you're thinking that it's just the artist. But when you see the artist, there's a whole ton of people behind that artist that gets paid, probably even before that artist gets paid. So we have to really, I feel like, I love both of those artists. I just feel like the more Drake he starts hammering at this door with this company, I feel like other artists are gonna eventually thank him, because they, number one, if they're gonna find out who has their money, who's been streaming and getting all of this money and taking money and breaking percentages off with artists, and they're not even in negotiation. You see, what people are missing out in all of these little situations is the fact that Drake and Kendrick, this is way bigger than them. This is about the streaming market, streaming farms, about numbers being boosted to put money in other people's pockets. That's what I think this is mostly about. Now, when it comes down to, we all know it's not like that's going to change our opinions on how the battle went. I don't think that's the case. So I just think that people are taking the fun out of this just because these two guys have a back and forth, and not realizing the seriousness of this. Yes, numbers are being boosted. We have seen fake sports. We've seen fake so many different things. And the reason why certain things are boosted in these times, and I told you guys, it's for profits for other people. So I'm just waiting to see how everything turns out with it. Good morning, my peoples, my peoples. I don't want to just point the finger and just say, oh, Drake is just being this guy and he's going at Kendrick because of this. No, I don't think that's the case. I think that there is a lot of funniness going on behind the scenes with these young folks' money, because they're making the money way faster than the older rappers in the past. And now they see that the youth is making the money faster. They want to have more control over it and they want to get more of it. But nowadays, the circuits of making the money is more of a direct sale. And I think that's the reason why you see numbers being escalated and people wanting you to be on their platform, because for some reason, when you're on their platform, the numbers just boost in the air. We know what's going on in the community, my peoples, all of us. We are catching on to how they show how they make their money. They make their money by deceiving people and making people think that there's more people into something. And this has nothing to do with the music, because it's up to us to like the music ourselves. But what it does is gives it a market. It's just like if you go past a video, right? And the video might have the worst thumbnail ever. And it might just be like somebody just say about to Earl or throw up. But you see the numbers and it's like 5 million. Of course, it's more likely you to click that video to see why people like this, even if you don't like it. So you have to understand the psychology behind what's going on. And these people have been playing these tricks for years and years and years. You guys have to understand. Don't get mad at the Drakes and the artists that's doing it, because the more they ham at these doors, they're going to find your money. They're going to find you guys' money. You know, like somebody say, what are you doing over here? Go find your parents. It's like, what are you doing over here? Go find your check and all the hard accomplishment, the money that you guys have earned. Because staying silent about inflation of numbers and promotion, and these are things that in politics right now they're fighting with with these laws against, you know, big companies taking out little companies. The world is going through this like it's a back and forth thing, and it's trying to find this balance that people are. I'm telling you, you guys, don't just look at it like it's just Drake and Kendrick. I want you guys to take a look at it like at all artists and see how people are being marketed. It's not about, of course we're gonna, it's not, don't look at the numbers like the numbers won't get there. Look at the timing the numbers came in. Look at the timing, you guys. Look at the timing. Don't think that everybody around the world is waiting for the next album and everybody are glued to their social media. No. By the time the world look, the numbers are already up. So just be mindful and we'll see how that whole thing plays out. Another thing, let's just jump right in. You know, no, another thing I wanted to talk about was I seen something, it just didn't look right, and I'm gonna keep it 101 today. Trey Songz. Now, there's a story out there going around that how there's a cop that he supposedly rescued his girlfriend from Trey Songz hotel. Now, when I heard this, I said, what? What do you mean rescue your girl? You don't have to rescue your girl. Your girl has 2 legs. She could walk out of the hotel from the same hotel she walked into with Trey Songz. Listen, man, this seems like, look, I know he's suing Trey Songz and he's trying to get his money, but it seems like, look, listen, if your lady is with Trey, you rescuing it, it's more, you're not more, just because you're a cop and you might, because what happened was, I believe that he went to rescue and he got beat up, you know, in the process, I guess in the room when he busted in, or however he did it at the hotel. But when you really look at that, this is not about authority versus somebody or him rescuing him. I think he said that rescue part just because he knew his lady was sleeping with Trey Songz and he busted in. Because, I mean, come on now, let's not be ignorant about, we're adults here. Grown woman, if you feel like you first of all, you're in a hotel with Trey Songz, what else could be going on? What do you think, is a private concert going on in the room? She had bought special tickets? Listen, dude, you don't gotta rescue her. I think the only person that was doing anything, she understood, I believe, just my whole take on it, I feel like she knew what she was getting into. But Trey Songz, I mean, what else would you be getting into? He's not teaching you how to sing, so I don't think that's on Trey Songz. I think they're just trying to find a lawsuit out of him. Just because, you know, he might have caught his lady sleeping around. But look, that doesn't solve the issues you and your lady is going to have in the future trying to sue somebody that she was in love with or who she wanted to deal with. I mean, we got to do better than that. We got to do better than that. I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but the story, it just didn't seem right. That how you gotta rescue your lady at a hotel. Why do I have to rescue my lady at a hotel? Does that sound right to you? Nah, she already got rescued if she's in the hotel already. She already got rescued if she's in the hotel. This is not like, we're not in high school. We're not in high school. Now, this whole thing with Diddy, I've seen a few things on it. I've seen a few things. And let me just tell you, man, I don't know. It's looking like, me personally, I don't think that Diddy's coming out for the holidays. That's my personal take on it, just because of the fact that, witnesses are scared and they have proof that he has been a problem, out here, going at people who said certain things, calling people a certain amount of times, and just trying to turn people's minds in a different direction. So I'm not sure if Diddy's going to be making it out for the holidays. It's a sad thing, but it's a reality that we have to understand here. People are still looking at the person that they thought that they knew, but they're not really taking heed to the person that he really is. The person that I see now, and with all these stories, and I'm not saying that I believed everything, but the ones that I did feel like they could be possibly true, it just paints this picture of a guy that's just he's overpowered. Meaning that everywhere he goes, he feels like he deserves the same treatment that people that look up to him and would do whatever for him. And the people that don't give him that type of treatment when he's in these different spaces are the ones that he tries to take advantage of. And that's what it seems like it's boiled down to. Now, when it comes down to the time he's going to get, or if he's going to beat this, I don't know how that goes. I just seen that, I think it's the judge or somebody like that, they had retired or resigned, and they're gonna have people coming in and out of this situation. So this case is a big mess. When you really take a look at what's really going on and how you got one side is trying to cover things up and trying to clean things up and give it a different picture to the public's eye. Then you have another side that's having the abundance of evidence that could be possibly true or not, and they're trying to figure things out. So it could go, to me, it looks like it could go any which way. But for the victims out there and the people out there that has been going through this type of trauma, what I would say is, you have to don't just have your faith in the judicial system or the laws. The laws the way it's set. You have to have some faith in God too, because at the end of the day, whether he's in or he's out, you still got to find a way to live and move on. And you still got to find a way to open the light for your journey so you can keep it continuing. You cannot just sit on this, because it's weighing on just content creators. I know, I can see it. It's weighing on a lot of people that, possibly thought they knew him. So I could just imagine how the victims feel. And the victims, I heard some stories with him, just like, the way he just, put his hands on anybody. I see Dawn, she out of everybody, they're saying that she's one of the most nervous. I guess she was closest to him to see this type of behavior. And this is the time when I guess he's shown this side of him more when she was around. So she's scared, and now we see why a lot of people were scared to come up, are scared to say their story, because if you tell your story and he's not in a place of where they're locked up or something like that, there's possibilities that something can happen to you if you're not the type of person that know how to defend yourself in these type of situations. So I can see a whole bunch of people being scared of this guy because of the way he uses power. But ain't it a damn shame though, y'all? On some real, ain't it a shame though that like a guy that made so much money, and with Bad Boy, the music was good artist, great legacy that was already painted in our face, but behind the scenes this is something that we have to look at and realize some people got problems going on within themselves, that just because they're in their place of work and do their work well doesn't mean that their life outside of their work is the same. Because when you put these drugs and all this type of stuff, all of that type of stuff is almost the reason why it almost burned hip hop down. Because people in hip hop, it's very like competitive driven sometimes, and sometimes it can be who's doing the most or has the biggest or the shiniest, and sometimes that can lead into the person who's doing the most drugs, or who's doing the worst things, or the most crazy things. And when you get to that level of everybody's just trying to out top everybody, you lead into these type of things. I'm sure it's not just Diddy, y'all. It's not just Diddy that be having these freak off parties. No way. It's more people. It's more people. talking about more people, they're saying that Kanye West had his own freak off room. So what these people are adapting, these people that looked up to him and made a substantial amount of money, maybe a few million or made a lot of money, and they looked up to him, they're taking on his traits. So Kanye now, they're saying he had a sex room. It's like, what, a sex room? First of all, females, y'all gotta be smarter than that. If you hear a guy got a sex room, you think that sex room was just built for you? So these are things you gotta think about too. These are people that they might be more in love with the sex than the whole, the physical love that comes with it. They're not, they only in love with the beginning part. They can't finish out what's left to come with that. Commitment, relationships. They can't, they don't have that. So when I hear these stories about like Kanye West and I'm like, yeah, it falls right down your alley. Now I'm not gonna just throw it out there and just say he did this, he did that. But when I see allegations pop up and they're similar to Diddy and things like that, it doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't surprise me. It makes me think like, yo, there's a part of hip hop and where some of these guys, they went the wrong route years ago and they've been living this route, and this is the reason why half of their music has declined. This is because when you get into the music business, a lot of people jump into the music business, they make a few dollars, and then they start pushing away from the music business and stop learning what this thing is all about. The more you in the business, the more you should start cutting off the nonsense and try to make this thing substantial for yourself. The youth is pulling in a great amount of money, but what the youth has to understand in these times is that they have to keep the money and put it in places where that if this thing stops tomorrow, they'll have something to stand on. Because everything is looking so independent, and now people are catching on. You got people like Drake suing these big companies, and let me tell you, suing these corporate companies, sometimes you have to really put your investigation in and see that that company is connected to a whole bunch of other companies. I have a video out right now that I dropped, and it's on just corporations, and it's a little mix in there with the Project 25, people just giving their take on it, and you will start to understand like just the difference between, big companies eating little companies and squashing the little companies just to get ahead. And these are the things that's been happening in a lot of different industries. And when it came to hip hop, I think the overpowering of people just not having their ownership, or even the artists nowadays not wanting to sign to these labels, it scares these corporations that's in cahoots with these labels. And now they're willing to go through the back routes of getting to the artists. So now if they want to get to the artists, they might go into having the people that they have commercials for that promote for their commercials deal with that artist, and now they're getting a different percentage from that artist and paying. There's different ways, they're circling ways to pull more money out of these artists. So that's why when I hear things like, yeah, I know for a fact that this stream form, and I'm not accusing Spotify of doing anything, but I'm just saying that some of these numbers, even I know these are big stars and they're the biggest stars in the world. But at the end of the day, I think some of these numbers are being inflated, and I'm not just pointing my finger at any artist. It could be anybody, These numbers are being used because they think that the people the viewers, us, they think that when we see the big numbers, that says, oh, I must like this. No, sometimes I've seen videos with millions and millions of views, and I thought it sucked. And I didn't go back to it. I was just like, okay, it's not necessarily, the numbers don't necessarily say that you like it. The numbers just say that you've seen it or you came across it. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily say that you like it. So that's one of the things that people get confused. And then when these companies see that you're locked on to that type of information, that's how they're going to pitch their products at you guys. That's how they want to pitch the products, showing, and that's not really necessarily the way things should go. Let me see here. I also had something, hold on. Let me see. I heard, yeah, I did hear about Wendy Williams, and she wasn't doing too well. Healing energy goes out to Wendy Williams. I feel like, wow, the Wendy Williams, her story up to this point, it feels so much like this is what happens when you have the wrong people around you for the wrong reasons. It seems like every situation, I want y'all to peep this out. Every situation that, or a topic or something information that comes up on Wendy Williams, it's always speaking on her health and how she's not doing as well. And then right under that information, you see something speaking about, they're in because of they're in battles with her documentary, and they're suing for it's something attached to money. And I feel like with Wendy Williams, being that she was this star for so long and she made so much money, they're more attached to the money than they are to Wendy. So they more care about what's gonna happen after, or if she's not here, or who's gonna get the money, than when she's here and how she's doing. So that's the sadness about it. And even though, greed will make people do it in front of your face, like don't even think that and we all watching and we all human beings and we're seeing that you're not treating her right. Something is wrong about the situation. The people that are watching in and looking in, and still it's like they don't even care. It's just kind of like, oh, they're just going after it. And that's a sad thing. When that's what happens when people their minds are stuck on just the money, the money, the money. You forget that the person is actually a person. It's like, come on now. People work hard for what they have, and if even God forbid they get sick, they should have people around them that maybe that money would turn into a way of helping them and work for them instead of working for somebody else trying to get whatever they got or whatever agendas they have set up to do with the money she worked hard for. That's when I don't feel right about them, and it's sad that it could be family, it could be friends. She's at a point where she can't make any decisions where who she really wants around her. So it's at this point, it's like, in her mind, I know she probably let her mind go of probably the money and everything, and just inside those prayers, they echo very very for distances, because it's sad. It's sad. We know what's going on. Another thing I seen was True Life. Shouts out to True Life. He went out to see Max B, and I don't want to just it's been years and years and years. I don't want to carry on this whole like free so and so, free this, free that, because to the youth out there, Max B, I feel like he was a exceptional artist, and he was one of those type of people that people loved just like how in these times, people like a good artist. I'm not saying that it's the same caliber, but I'm just saying like Cardi B, how her personality grabs people and they have a relation to that. Max B was the same way. Not only was he I would say a free bird, man. The way he made his music, he just did it his way, and that resonated with his audience. But outside of that, his problems that he had from, him beefing back and forth with Jim Jones, him having these street ties, as well as not finding his placement as an artist, all of these things led up to him chasing the money more than the dream. And I feel like he got caught up in the mix. Whatever it was, robbing somebody or allegedly robbing somebody, and I know it was him and some other people, when you put yourself in those positions, you throw away your dreams and everything's now behind you, because whatever you're getting there will never amount to what you don't know what God had for you. So just scratching that away and just throwing it away, and they gave him, I believe, like 20 something years. It's not easy to say just free Max B. I know, people want to keep their spirits up, and they always say like every other year he's coming out like every other year. But the truth in this that you can take from it, the lesson behind this, don't throw away your dream because for short money. It's not your dream. Usually a real dream don't have anything to do with money. Money is something that's man-made. That comes with, your accomplishments. And nine out of 10 times, sometimes it doesn't. But it doesn't mean that your accomplishments aren't there. So with Max B, I look at it like it's a lesson learned for the youth. Sometimes you don't even know you're a star, or you don't even know you're a diamond until you develop yourself, and really see how much you can shine. Because he lost his shine in between of him trying to get into this situation, taking somebody's money that probably is not even worth it. And now it lands him in prison for 20 somebody years. Do I feel like he's gonna come out and be the same person? I don't think so. Do I feel like his music might come out? His music is playing now. Here and there, people still play his music. So I don't think that's what it is. I think that all of them years with his age, I think that's pretty much it for Max. And if he does come out with some new music, I think people will appreciate it. But if he does come out, you know, prison is a type of place. It's very easy to get into prison, but it's very hard to, you know, leave out. Sometimes people leave out and they still have that prison mentality. It doesn't mean that you left. You know, your spirit is still in there as your physical is removed out of it. So these are things that you do not want to play with, and you got to make sure the time that you spend outside in these streets or whatever you got going for yourself, make it worth it. Make it worth it, because I can't see myself jumping into something that would cause me to risk my life, then take me away from the people that I love, when I could have just came up with something a little bit better to safeguard myself and my family. Anything can happen, and I do believe in that. And you always got to be prepared for the worst, but still, you know, there's possibility that the best might come too. So I think he blew that, man. I think Max blew it on that, man. That amount of time is not, I don't know, man. I feel like, I don't know. I don't, you know, I'm always hear that he's in good spirits, but I mean, what other spirits could you be in? You don't want to be in bad spirits in prison. Now you're matching the energy of the place that they want. They want you to feel that way. You want to be in, they want you to be in bad spirits. And that's how people break. That's how you lose your mental. That's how you lose everything when you break and snap into this person that they want you to be. Because that's the reason why they have you there. You're proving that you are in the place where you're supposed to be. No, you're not supposed to be there. You're talented. You have a lot more to offer, but that's what happens, man. I'm hearing Harvey Weinstein, he's filing a claim over like bad conditions at Rikers Island. Yeah. Rikers Island always had bad conditions, Harvey. What you see, that's what I don't understand. Like, people think that, and I did here and there, I see prisons like across the country, they have different types of prisons where it's more safer. But in these environments, in New York especially, Rikers Island has never been a good environment. There was a time when I thought they were saying that it was going to close Rikers Island. So him complaining, this is not something that we never heard before, Harvey. Harvey, it's a bad place. And yes, I feel like conditions should be changed up, but I mean, him complaining now, he's saying it like we didn't know. No, we knew about the conditions. There's time and time again, there's people that come out of these jails, because Rikers is a jail. It's time that people come out and they tell these stories about how bad the situations are in there and how the officers are not running the jails and the prisoners, and the inmates are running the jail. And we hear these stories and you think that, well, you think those stories are not true? Yes, they're true. So when I hear Harvey Weinstein, he's squealing like a little piggy to try to get out because he's saying, you know, it's kind of like, it's the same thing I've been talking about. At a certain age, prison is a death sentence. Unless you're in there for something defending your family or something you can really sit up there and say, you know what? This had to happen. If it ain't that, then it ain't worth it. It's simple as that, man. It's as simple as that. Nobody want to be, and especially with the food, I'm hearing the food out there it's more than nasty. I'm talking about finding food in the street probably tastes better than some of the stuff I'm hearing that's coming out of those places. So, I mean, the choice is yours, but for me, I'm not going to do that. I'd rather be outside trying to make better of myself. I might not have the most money in the world or be the biggest millionaire or whatever they may, deem you to be, but I'm definitely searching for a way to be some of the happiest times and the best moments, because if I don't have those, then what is it worth? What is it worth? Come on now. We got to do better than that, especially we got Thanksgiving coming up. We ain't trying to, look, man, there's a lot of people right now that they are not privileged to be even near their family or around their loved ones. The people that they love are not even around them. There's people I've seen on the news, this girl and her man, they ended up killing, like she left the door open. It sounded so, hear this story out real quick. So a boyfriend and a girlfriend, she left the door open to the apartment, left out, I guess for work. You see on the camera this guy, he's walking in, and her father, I guess they got a picture of her father as well, and they walk in there and they beat the guy to death. In my head, I'm like, I don't know where this story is going, but I came up with this story in my head, and I'm just gonna say allegedly. I felt like there could be a possibility, being that her father was involved, that Dude probably was putting his hands on her. She probably told her pops. He was a little too old to just do it for himself, not unsure, and he brought somebody with him. And then she left out and they got busy. I feel like that's what most likely what happened. But it just goes to show you, man, you gotta be around the right people. If you're around people and it's friction all the time, it's gonna lead into something. It's gonna eventually lead into something. So we trying to stay away from those times, trying to enjoy these holidays the best way we can. As far as like these big functions and stuff, you know how I feel about that. I got anxiety. I don't got time for that, and I like my moments to be more intimate. Those are the ones I really remember, and those are the ones I cherish the most. Not the moments where it was a whole concert or anything. Those are just regular memories. But the moments I cherish the most are usually more intimate moments, and they're not ever something to do with everybody else. Just, sometimes those are just good memories, just good memories. That's it. That's it. It's not things that I carry on that will help me or benefit me in my life. As I got a lot of other things that I'm doing, and a lot of other things that I have plans to do. So I don't want anything from in the past to stir that up and mess up what I got going on, because I'm just trying to do the best for myself, as well as give people the most authentic self that I can. I'm trying, out nowadays, truth is so hard to find. It's like it's like you lost your wallet, So I try to come up here and give y'all the real and how I'm really feeling, no matter how it come out, That's how I feel. That's how I feel. There's a lot of families right now. I was also thinking about that. They lost their kids, whether it's to street violence, and they can't celebrate the holidays the same as everybody else. I mean, come on now. A lot of people need more than just a turkey, in other words, Sometimes people need some therapy or somebody just to talk to in times like this, when there's nobody around that they feel. Even though there's always somebody around, even if you're the only one around, that's another life. But you gotta make use of the time that you have and try to make the best of it. That's what I'm trying to do, man. Sometimes things happen like a surprise, and sometimes it's a good surprise, sometimes it's a bad surprise, and we just try to handle these situations the best way we know how, because things just be happening, man. Things just are happening, y'all. I want y'all to really check out that video I dropped, though. I just want to give y'all like just a different outlook, and just open your mind to things that possibly can happen if things go the wrong way. So you could expect the punch, so you should know how to take the punch and then throw your own, Like, I knew this was gonna happen, so I saved this amount and I was prepared for this, so I got this tucked. I'm all right now. Come on now. Don't be out there buying up everything when you go out there, unless it's and I see the trick in it with food. Food expires, so you can buy it up, but you got to eat it up. So that's where you're gonna be throwing your money constantly in. So that's a different. You don't look at that the same. But when it comes down to things like clothing and those are the things that you can't look. Trust me, you can hold back on some of this stuff. You can't hold back. We keep a lot of things out here in America. Everybody don't realize how much they really have, and it's so much that sometimes we get lost just because social media makes us think that we have to keep going at this. And right now, this is not the best times to be doing that. Companies are selling you guys dreams, are trying to empty your pockets, and bills keep piling up. We have to understand that they don't expect to pay us more to hold our bills down. They don't. No. They want us to be on this continuing wheel of paying everybody. They don't mind. They'll give you longer time to pay whatever you got to do, but they just want you to keep funding them. And that's what you have to get your mind out of, and realize that you have to make all of that work for you. And some of that wheel money got to come back to yourself. I'm trying to figure it out. I got my little things here and there going. I told you guys I'm gonna, upgrade this show, and I got some new things that I'm gonna be bringing to it. So, yeah, man, that's just how we got to do it in these times. That's how I feel. That's how I feel today. Thanksgiving is coming. Yeah, so just when y'all hear the whole, when I hear this thing about with music and people, I don't know, man, hip hop gets so blinded by the things that's right in front of their face that it's to the point where it's like, you didn't see that? You didn't see that, but you see all the nonsense. It's, I don't know, man. If you really think that artists are not getting robbed, or if you really think that this game is a game where people are playing fair, you're the fool, and you should stay far away from the entertainment business. Because right now, the entertainment business is on shambles because a lot of people are trying to go independent when it comes to music. And the actors, when it comes down to actors, they haven't figured it out yet, but they have a different way of going about it. But when it comes down to music, I feel like it's gonna come a time where AI music is gonna take the lead. It's gonna take a lead if we don't realize that we have to take control. I'm pretty sure, nowadays to be number one as an artist, it doesn't just take your album. You can have the dopest songs in the world, but I'm pretty sure that you have to have some kind of sponsorships and things in the back, doing things for other companies and so company and this and that. And all of a sudden you'll see yourself rising to that billboard. Now, it's not to say that you don't deserve it to be there, but it does say that that is some kind of form of way of rising on there. It's almost like a pay to play type of situation. It's almost type this this has nothing. I'm not pointing out artists because we all hold a responsibility of what we intake and what we like. If somebody tell you you should like this and then all of a sudden you like it, that's your business. But if I don't like it, I don't like it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't say that I don't like the artist. It doesn't say that I don't like the next song. All it says is I don't like it. It's not for me. That's all it's about. People are scared to separate themselves and everybody wants to stand in the majority and nobody wants to stand up with the minority. So I see that going on, and that's the reason why there needs to be regulation in between whatever streaming services, whether there be a streaming forum somewhere out there in Bangladesh. I don't know what's going on, but all I know, if you pay attention, and this is no disrespect to any artist, there's more going on than they think. Okay, and you'll be surprised how many artists don't get the money that you guys think they do, because the money's going in so many different places. It's hard to collect it all. So with independence, you find that too. You have to have a strong independence when it comes down. And ownership is not really everything in these times. I'll be honest with you guys. I know you're not gonna hear that a lot, but ownership is something that it takes this to maintain that ownership. Even ownership comes with maintenance. And some people can't, maintain their lives. So just jumping to own something, it's just like you can't keep your life together, so you go get a pet dog. Now the dog is in the picture and you have to take care of the dog along with the other things that you can take care of. It's one of those things. So if you don't have the proper mindset, you have to get all of these things straight first before you even jump into that type of, longevity thinking. And yeah, I wanted to tell you guys that and just let you guys know that, when you see these things, really has nothing to do with us. I don't even know why, as fans, we should be, speaking on how their streams. We already know those streaming companies are stealing from artists. Come on, you want me to be? You serious? You see, at first, it's all good when they're boosting your numbers up, but it's bad when they start pulling and playing with your numbers. Now you're like, well, hold on now. It's almost like, so if I don't stay with you guys, or if I don't do this billboard or do this and that for you, trying to tell me that y'all going to do something to my numbers. So I don't want to be part of this nonsense. I want to talk to my fans and be direct with my people no matter what, because that's the true, as an artist and artist to listener, that's where the true connection lies. Oh, that song was dope. This is what that song meant to me. You never hear somebody say, oh, that song was dope, man. I seen you did 3 million. Nobody really cares. I think that the numbers are the attraction to the promotion of what's going on. I can hear a song and it has 10 views on it, man. And it doesn't matter. If I like the song, I'm going back to the song. I don't use people's opinions and outlooks on music to judge what I like. Like when people are saying about, like country music, oh, it's such a surprise. I'm like, what? I listen to, yeah, I listen. I mean, my playlist extends from Luminaires all the way back to Public Enemy. My music palette was been. I listen to all genres. It's just that hip hop is where I find myself most. That's where my culture's at. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't listen to other music. I mean common sense. So when I hear people saying, "Oh, this is such a big surprise," I'm like, any person that's a writer, any person that's into lyrics, could see and understand another person, whether whatever genre is good, just as good as you. Those are things that you will find similarities in the person. Like, yeah, you dope in your genre and I'm dope in mine, and you find that similarity. But people are like just so thrown off. It's because they've been bopping the whole time. It's like, look, slow down on the bopping and start realizing what you're bopping to. Now we have a lot of there's good music out there, but then there's also a little sprinkle of some other people. It's just like when you go on the news and you hear like an article, and this rapper so and so got shot down. You're like, he's a rapper? I never seen him in my life. What do you mean he's a rapper? It's like you're labeling everybody rappers. Oh, I understand he was trying to rap. Oh yeah, I see his YouTube video. It's because a lot of people that's rapping right now they didn't necessarily want to be a rapper. This is just a point in their life where they found a way to stream money out due to the fact of YouTube. YouTube being a platform where you can make money and generate money from it, that becomes a part. That's why you see people rapping on YouTube and their numbers could be so big, but in the music industry, they're not like almost respected as an artist. It's because on YouTube, you can be rapping, but somebody like you because your videos are funny. It doesn't necessarily say that they like you for your song. People don't get that. It's just it's that invisible line in between. You don't know why a person brought you there. You don't know why people like you, in other words. You could be a funny person on YouTube and say, you know what, let me do a couple spoof songs, and then people expect that from you, and now you're this spoof rapper. And now it sounds like you are a musician because you're spoofing people's music and you're taking little things and making it your own. But in reality, you're not really an artist. You're more like acting it out. And that's the difference with YouTube. And that's the reason why the respect of artists, they don't really have like a place. But it used to be record labels, a place where, oh, those are people that got signed and they're official artists. But now it's like everything's bunched on YouTube. You don't really, it's like a mix up of who's who. You have people of all ages rapping, but the culture is it's not really steered by older rappers. The youth is what keeps hip hop what it is. It keeps it love, fun. It keeps it people, it shows that the culture is growing when you see the youth, the more new people that jump into it and take their takes from it and make it grow. The people that were in it that are respected like legends and respected and did their time in it, those are people still right now that's holding the culture together just from their names of itself. It don't have to drop new music, but just their names and the things that they stood up for. Those are the things that should be highlighted, so when the youth look up, they know that there's a direction that's set in place. This is not some place where you can come and just do whatever you want, run with the culture and throw it away. No, people want to, it's like get to know you, where you come from. These are all things that's always been a part of hip hop. Where you from? What's your borough? Where this? Where that? These are the little things that solidify you as an MC and what kind of MC you are and what do you represent. And with YouTube, it's so quick to upload something. Something can blow up from just being funny, and that can live a life of longer than an artist that's trying to get their music really into people's ears to listen to an album. So it's very tricky. And within this whole thing, as those outsiders or people are looking over trying to make money from this, they're seeing value in the back and forth fighting. They're seeing value in all of the wrong things. The things that the culture could be exploited by, that's where they see their value. They don't see value in the people that's trying to build or trying to do different things for the culture. They'll see more of the value in the things that hit the news, the gossip, and they'll make their money off of that. Because a lot of people on YouTube don't even know that come 2025, You're gonna have to be very careful of what you're saying in your videos when it comes down to people putting their commercials on, because if you see the shift and the dynamic that everything is going towards content creators, you see a lot of these big companies, they have more time, more marketing space, they have more promotional space when it comes down to a content creator, whereas if it's an artist, they have videos they can do and they can hit the masses at one time. But a content creator is constant, commercial, talking to the people on a daily. It's more connected to the people. So once the big companies see that, of course they're going to put more light into the content creators that can actually promote their products without, going overboard on their videos or talking about this other company while you're supposed to be, supporting this company. You sponsoring this company, but you're talking about a company that they don't even mess with. So these are things that comes with the educated content creator. So certain content creators that have that type of education would eventually be paid more because the responsibility that they take within their content. Now, if you have a content creator out there that's just throwing out everything and it's back and forth, that's going to be a little tricky for, people to just bank their money in, unless they have a product that they feel like they can sell to that particular community or whatever, that subject is about. So you're going to see a lot more of just a difference in CPMs, a difference in people, content creators and what they're promoting and the stories they're telling. You got some of the greatest storytellers will probably end up making some of the most money just because of the fact that they can keep the viewers attached to what they're watching. And that attachment shows that the viewers, they have dedication, and the dedication leads to sales in big businesses. People that's dedicated that say, you know what, I'm coming back to buy that when I'm on my on Friday. Those are the people that's going to keep coming back. And once companies they start to realize that, that's when they fish out what content creators and who's who and what's what and how much they can promote, how much can they put into this content creator. I think that's where social media will most likely go. We have a lot of new things coming up in January. We have Spotify. They're opening like a new market where content creators can get paid, just like on how YouTube does. And you guys can look into that. You can it's for people that's really like, if you want to start a podcast, maybe want to put your show, maybe audio. I'm believing they have video as well, but audio. And once you figure these type of things out, you can make a substantial amount of money for yourself on the side that can help you and your family out, or maybe help you help other people. And that's where we at. There's a lot of other pay attention to the platforms that's more pushing towards the creators than the platforms that's pushing towards selling you something. Those, you have to find yourself in a place where you can be valued, where what you say is more valued. Sometimes people get more value from TikTok and they don't get as much value from YouTube, or sometimes it's vice versa, where you feel more comfortable on YouTube and you can have a better connection than you have on another platform. And these are the reasons why certain platforms have their own agendas and the things on their platform that makes not every platform is driven by the same things, Some platforms are driven by different things, even though the videos might look all the same. And certain people, they rise above the rest when they realize this. So a lot of content creators you're seeing right now, especially on YouTube and things like that, don't think that things are going to change as there's more time, as time goes on. I'm very happy that us small content creators, our small channels, they're growing. A lot of people are seeing us and seeing we're being recommended more. So they're trying to find their balance. And I feel that'll be great into the year to come, because these small conversations mean a whole lot more than those big gatherings at these round tables where what they talk about doesn't really serve these communities and where we come from. So when they dig into these little conversations, whether they take it and run with it, whatever they do with it, at least we know that our voices and the things that we talk about are being heard. It's not to say that you can profit from everything. YouTube is not a place where you might lose a little. Somebody might just take a little bit something from you and profit from it. But remember, like I always tell you, God always blesses you in the end. So that's what, you don't look forward to that. You want somebody to take something from you. You want them to take something with what you're saying. You want somebody to leave with something that they can maybe change their mind. And if it works for them, trust me, good people will always find themselves back. If I made you feel better or open your mind up to something else, why not come back and give me another shot? Why not subscribe? It's not like I'm putting out any bad vibes or saying this particular culture is this and this particular. I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm more into saying, okay, I see what y'all doing over there. I see what y'all doing over there. But did y'all realize that what y'all doing are kind of similar? Check it out. Look, and I'm more into breaking things down. So all of the other stuff, it really makes no sense. It's just we're here to make sure that everybody sees things in the way things are actually is, because there's social media it's one of the biggest places to be deceived. Trust when I tell you, they'll make a stale sandwich look delicious on social media. You hear me? So don't let these people fool you and tell you anything and you believe it. You value yourself. Number one thing about, before you start even knowing about money and anything about valuing yourself, just know that the first thing you don't want somebody to do when it comes to valuing yourself is lie to you and expect you to just believe them. No, you know better for yourself. You have this, where if you feel like something's, you figure it out, and if you can't, just let it go. But we don't fall for that, those nonsense. It's sad. It's sad. We don't fall for that type of stuff. I just wanted to let you guys know that. And yeah, man, I hope you guys have enjoy your Thanksgiving. And you know, this is a time where you kind of you eat some good food, and you know, you listen and maybe think about some good memories, watch some good movies. That's gonna be my whole thing. I'm a movie junkie, so I might just take it back today. I don't know. I might just take it back. Might do some Spike Lee. Could do some, maybe some Denzel, Training Day, like my bro said. Maybe, I don't know. I might take it back. I might take it back. I'm gonna take it back. I'm definitely gonna take it back. I was watching some movie trailers and I seen this this one trailer about this. I think if you guys seen this, did y'all see that trailer about the monkey? He's a rock star. Like he was watching, I think Elvis when he was a little monkey, he was watching Elvis on the TV, and then like the monkey just learned the moves, and as the monkey grew, he grew into a rock star and started performing on stage. I want to watch that. It looks interesting. I want to check that out. I forgot the name of it, but I really want to check that out. That looks like around the holidays. Good movies get your mind right. Some of them will drive you crazy, but good movies around this time is good. It's good. It's good. I love you guys, man. I keep things inside, and when I'm ready to release them, I release them. But I just want to put healing energy to all my peoples that I love, and God knows that'll travel well. And yeah, that's where I'm at, man. I ain't trying to be on no frictional stuff. I see a lot of people so ready, so used to the back and forth. I can't be unhappy if I'm happy, because things could go a lot worse, but things are not. You know, things are looking on the. You always got to look on the up and up. Even if you've been through a bad yesterday, it don't mean that you can't have a good tomorrow. So I always look at life like that. So I'm just trying to keep myself together, trying not to let this anxiety get to my head, so I can come up here and be clear-minded and as truthful and just as peaceful with you guys, because I don't ever want to go out there and just be something I'm not and end up in these positions like some of these people from these mistakes. It makes no sense to me. It never made sense to me. I don't care. Money can't account to my freedom and the things I can do while I'm out. I've always been good on my feet, and I could always use my mind to make more money or get out of situations. I've never been the type to, you know, fall to, like, you know, deceive to things like that. I've always been on point, you know, always got to stay sturdy. I'm from New York. I'm not from West Bubble, wherever, you know what I'm saying? I'm from New York, so I got to be on point. And I feel like there's a lot of things thrown right now in front of us to alter that. And if you're not aware of it, man, you can get caught up in the mix, and in no time you won't even realize who you are or know where you are because of the things that they did. So you got to be very careful. I seen in the news that they were talking about vaping. I never vaped. I never liked that. Like, I never understood people just sharing that, putting that on their mouth, and I don't know. I'm not into that. Especially I got, like, my family, we have asthma and things like that. I could never put something like it. It's bad enough, you know, that I do my little smoking, and I think that's just it. That's That's it. I don't want to do no vaping and all that. So don't get into all that stuff. Vaping. I know it might seem fun, but when you really think about it and you putting that stuff in your lungs, you don't know what them people putting in that stuff. I don't think that's worth it. And I don't mean to be so cautious on everything like that, but I just feel just for the benefit of your lives, these people want y'all, and to the youth out there, these people want y'all to do what they want y'all to do. Don't fall for none of that stuff. It ain't really that cool. Vaping, passing that stuff around. Just what? Because it got a sweet smoke to it? Nah. Nah, if you're gonna do anything when it comes down to like smoking, let it be on your own time, your own decisions, and don't ever trust somebody when you gotta put something in your body. Let it. There's a difference when you're burning something, because you're burning, so the whatever is in it, it's gonna burn out, and that's what we inhales inside. But when you're dealing with like drinking stuff and things that go in your bloodstream, like pills and all that, you don't want to get and play with these people, man. Trust me, none of us have the strength to mess with these people with all these wicked intentions. I don't have enough strength. It would take me and a whole bunch of you guys to take them out. So I don't got no, they win when it comes down to that. That's why I don't play around when it comes down to things that alter your mind and things like that. I don't even drink. I don't. I really don't. Like if I would consider not drinking, like if I like say families around or something, maybe I might have one amaretto sour. That's it. So to some people, they be like, oh, that's a wussy drink or a sissy drink. Like I'm not into drinking. Like I don't do that. Like a Guinness, if y'all call that drinking, like, but I'm not into like no hard liquor and all of that type of stuff. Like I don't need none of that to perform sex act. I don't need none of that. Like I've always been good in bed. I don't need none of that stuff to perform. Like none of that stuff. All that stuff is just like I like to know what I'm doing, and I like to take. That's one thing I'm selfish with. I'm selfish with the feeling. So give me all. I want all the feeling. If anything, I don't need to be altered. No, give me all of the feeling. Not me. I'm not with it. A little wine is good for you. Some wine is healthy too. So things like that. But don't you be up here like don't you be thinking that you can live like a wino and then outlast your life like a king or queen. That's not how it goes. That is definitely not how it goes. When you alter your mind, especially, it's one thing in you not having anything and you have to find ways to get to the bottle. But it's another thing when you have a lot of money and you find yourself inside the bottle. You can't get yourself outside that bottle. Are you kidding me? By the time you raise your neck above that bottle, your bank account's on zero. The people that once loved you is gone. You're the only one in there, and you reeking of liquor. Are you serious? Stay away from that stuff, man. People out here trying to poison our people, and you got to stay away. You got to let these people know that you value yourself. When they see you throwing yourself away and drinking and smoking whatever you want, and they throwing anything at you and you testing it out and you eating this and eating that, they feel like you ain't even valuing yourself. So they look at you like, yo, just throw anything. You're just a lab rat. They're just testing stuff on you. Don't be that way. Don't be that way. So quick to, taste this, taste that. No, be mindful of what you're putting into your body and the things that you're inhaling. It ain't worth it in these times. Listen to your boy. I would never say something out there just for what? To shorten your time for somebody else's selfishness? Don't you ever do that. Don't you ever do that. You might not find value in yourself today, but listen to when I tell you, you'll find value in yourself one day. So when when they ask you, what you doing, what's your New Year's resolution? If you don't have one, I don't have one yet. I'm working on it. Know that you're working on yourself. Okay, I'm working on myself. I don't know when this thing's gonna be over. It might take 2 New Year's resolutions to get where I want to go. But as God, in God's grace, and as God would tell it, and the story goes, you're gonna make it there. At the end of the day, I don't look at anybody, and what anybody else is doing is not, and I don't mean to sound like that. What anybody else is doing is not really impressing to me unless it's helping somebody. Like I could tears in my eyes when I see people help people on TikTok and do this for somebody, or surprise somebody, or somebody come back from the army and they surprise their family. It's tears in my eye. I don't find tears for somebody that got the money in their ear and throwing up money. Are you serious? That just made me look like, look at these people. And they think that when they think that the money that they have, they're not being looked at as poor. The money that you have, they ain't calling that money. When I say big corporations, I mean these people with billions of dollars. I'm not talking about the money that, look, these people still look at me as poor. They don't look at us like we have money, man. They don't do that. That's not how they're looking at us. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. They're looking at us like straight consumers that would spend all our last bit of money that we work for on them to get their companies where they feel like their companies should go. They ain't paying no mind to us. Think of the last time you seen a coupon from one of these big companies just mailed to your house, 50, 70% off. You remember that? No. No. They want to remind you and show you the shiniest pages of what they think you will want, and now you feel like, oh, I want that bag so bad, I got to get that bag. You don't really have to get that bag, and you don't really need it so bad. Now, you can work and get up to that point, or if you have a little bit of extras, you can put towards that. But after you get it and the feeling is there, did you really want that bag? There was probably something else. You might have wanted that little bracelet or a little chain, little necklace that remind you of your mother or your father, a little picture. But you forgot all about that because they promoted that to you. There's so many other things that could be so cherishing to you. You don't have to make that, whatever they throw in your face, number one on your list to get. If every time they throw something in your face and that's number one to get, you doing something wrong. Get your list together. Don't let somebody stop what you got planned for yourself. No, I don't want that bag. It's a nice bag, but at the end of the day, I got these things to do. Stop interrupting what I have for throwing these same things with the same colors time and time again over the years. It's the same stuff. You can only buy the same sneaker over and over and over and over again. Come on now. We got to do better than that. I'm sorry. We got to do better than that. Before I get out of here, I just want to let y'all know. Remember Mr. T? He had all the big jewelry. Well, Mr. T used to wear old shoes. It reminded him where he came from. Never forget that. It's not about the shiny stuff. It's about them shoes. Letting him know the struggle it took to get where he was at. So if you're ever wondering why you see in these pictures, look at it. Mr. T, nice jewelry, nice clothes, old shoes. Don't ever think that man's broke. Just know he got one of these. Know he got one of these. That everybody's perception and the way you look at things and make people feel. You got to know why people do the things they do. Why is everybody, real quick, why does everybody, the ones that think that they're rich, why do they all look the same? With the same stuff? Why do they always have the same stuff? It's like a kit you put on to act that, to push that arrogance out. You think the women like that? You think a real woman really likes a person that's just always arrogant without having the, you don't have the, where is the magic that makes you a man and an individual that stands out without all of that other stuff? Where's that? Once they realize and they can't find that there, have this together, man. Have this together, you guys. All my ladies out there, there was somebody in the conversation on the video drop and they was talking about, and I don't think it was just black ladies. I feel like it's all ladies. Don't let these people use y'all like some sex slaves. Y'all do better. I love y'all bodies. Y'all are beautiful. Trust me, I see so many beautiful women. Don't you ever think that these women, beauty, that y'all hang it high. But don't just sell yourself short and just let them think that they can see whatever they can see. No. They feel like they want your booty in front of their product. If they want that, then you make sure they have to pay. You have to value yourself, and then they'll come correct when they approach you. Don't let these people approach you and just use you for what they think that you're worth. No, you have to life is all about a negotiation. I understand you don't know who I am. I understand that. But I also understand that it's up to me to let you know what I feel like is respect. And if you can't have that with me, then you see another me, or we can just cut this conversation short. Because there's no time for games when, there's never that in between space is time wasted. It's time wasted. For the people out there that's just trying to sharpen their minds and get their minds, there's things you have to go about to do that. There's also one of the biggest things you can do to get your mind right and be sharp in the things that you do and be successful is boundaries. If you don't set these boundaries in life, you'll find yourself trapped in around everything that what everybody else wants you to do without even getting to what you want to do. Remember that, y'all. I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in, always showing me love. I'm going to turn this channel up as well as bring more new surprises for you guys. And I want to carve out a way where we can have these conversations a little more personal as well as a little more interaction with us. We got to really bust it up a little better than we are. And you guys got to start letting me know about what types of relationships and how are these structured families coming up? How could people break out of these ways and get back to the loving again? We're going to get into all of that as time goes on. And I'm going to start thinking about the food for tomorrow today, you know? Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. And you guys go check out my video. And I'm going to drop maybe something, a little surprise. Maybe I'll drop a little surprise. I don't know. Okay? Until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, a.k.a. Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now.